Hello and welcome back to Tectonica. I've been gardening a little bit and debugging a bit. Found some small goofs as I built my diesel area, so got that worked out. And realized there was a problem. Let's go take a look at what we're using. I realized there was a problem with the way I am building my guys up here. So, as I was finagling with the diesel and getting all this restarted because we lost diesel production, I noticed something. I am direct inserting everything here, which is not bad in itself, but that does have a consequence. If these side machines become completely filled with sand, this machine can't offload its output sand, sesamite sand, which means it can't take in the real sand. So what this needs to do is provide the inputs here, take the inputs of these two guys, merge them together into a belt, and then merge the output of this onto that. Let me see if I can scope it out here real quick. Let's drop our three guys in here. We end up with something like this. This guy has an output. These guys have inputs. This needs to come out and get split and do that. And the inputs here need to come in like that. And actually we can do that. Okay. So we've got 100 and 100 there, and 100 and 100 there. We've got 50 coming out here, and we've got 225 going in there. So now, if I need to dump, I can always get this out. This is still not strong enough. I need to have a buffer here. So I am going to put a box in, just like that. Okay. Now, it still isn't quite enough. Still need to deal with the sand coming out the other side. And as before, the easy way to do it is to stagger things around a little bit. And just do this. Yeah. Here is where I am going to do a little bit of... So part of the problem is, do I put the normal sand in directly or do I route it through the boxes? I think I've just put the normal sand in. Because if you can't take the basic sand, then we really are stalled. Anyway, this is just a demonstration. So we've got the sand coming in there, and I've got the sesamite powder going through that box. That's one way we could do it. The other way is to put these guys back to where they were. And we end up with powder coming in like this. Now this has the opportunity for us to do something a little more fancy. As we work more on this, it turns out that this middle guy isn't saturated. he's not. When he triggers off, we will see the rate, but I believe he's only running a third of the time. So these four could share one. In fact, we could do 6 of these outside ones per one here. So all 6 of the ones in this column could use the middle. Now that would make it a little difficult to shut things down. You can see how this would allow us to reduce the number of crushers currently in the system. Anyway, I'm not gonna make any changes because I believe I can keep this from bottlenecking just simply by coming by and watching once in a while. And if we start stalling out, we can just take the sand out of these guys. Boom, boom. Or better yet, take the sand out of this guy so that he can continue to process his stuff here, allowing this to process these sands. I think that only happens, though. I think that deadlock only happens if we continue to have sand coming in, and for some reason this guy can't generate its outputs, which would mean it would only happen if the sesamite powder was backing up. Now, I induced that situation synthetically through what I was doing while I was trying to fix the diesel situation. I actually caused the problem. That was me. Anyway, so what are we doing today? I was looking at Victor. Now, earlier, we very carefully tripled the size of our farms, doubled the throughput of all of our threshers, which were already at 150%. So now we are running full blast. And you'll notice 2 things about our explosives. First of all, they're not actually consuming all the output because this is still sized for the old stuff. The second thing is we're wimpy over there. So I could do 2 things here. I could either extend this more and build it bigger, or I could look at the other recipe. What I'm doing is I am going to replace my explosives generation here with a much smaller explosive production line, which we are going to put on floor 9. This is sesamite based explosives. And we have our nice supply of shiverthorn extract here. We've got our nice supply of sand, which is, we clearly have a lot more sand coming in than we can deal with right now. So 11200 is full box. We're not quite full box yet. So I need to do something with sand. We may actually need to redirect more of floor 14's sand pumps to sinking their sand. Possibly what we could do is take all of the sand from all the pumps and route it to the elevator and use splitters so that we would potentially sink all the sand into power if it was backed up. And that would put half of the sand into power if we were not backed up. That sounds good. I may do that. I may end up reworking level 14 depending on where we are when we're done with this. But the first step is, what is the recipe? I'm going to put mining charges in kind of along this line. I'm just going to dump them in like that. Actually, you need to come in on this side. We have all sorts of things that we have been gathering, and these boxes are now getting full. Put a box above that. We're going to take all of our scrap metal and put it in the top box, because we may have run out of space there. And this guy is not full yet, but I'm going to do the same thing for him. because we are not doing anything with scrap yet. We're going to have to. If these back up, basically there's no real reason for me to buffer up more. But I am going to make a second box full. Because once we start using them, maybe I'll be using them faster than I'm making them. And we may end up letting the sand reclaim Sierra. And that would cause these to stop moving. So there we go. Our... over here. So I'm going to come out, give ourselves a little bit of space. 1, 2, 3, boom. And, no, let's make it so that we don't run into that guy. You are making mining charges. You require plant matter bricks and sesamite gel and coal. We have a coal line over here on the right. I could also bring it around to the left. Part of the reason why I arranged these as I did was so that I could start from here and turn it here and bring it all the way around. We're going to bring it all the way out here like this, in case we need it somewhere else. We'll have coal. We need plant matter bricks. We've been building them up here. I am going to do another one of these. Come out to here. I'm going to turn this way so our hubs don't talk to each other badly. Come to here. I'm going to bring the plant matter bricks all the way out to here. Now, in theory, we could take plant matter bricks off of that way as well. The plant matter bricks and coal. And the other thing is the sesamite gel. So we need to make some sesamite gel. This is going to be a very low rate. With this machine running at full speed, we need 2 gel per minute. I could probably truck the gel in, actually. Do I have spare sesamite gel? I should have plenty of spare sesamite gel. In fact, this spends most of its time backlogged. We're sending some of it off this way. I think what I'm going to do... Can I sneak it on through the rest of the way? Nope, I'm bringing in the coal on the same level, which means I have to bring the sesamite gel up and over, or I need to reroute my coal. Let's reroute the coal. Here's the coal. I'm going to take this gel, and this is my excess gel line from here. I need to bring it up by 1. So let's keep it on the level here. And I am out of belts. Let's go get belts. Belts are back here somewhere. Just gotta grab them all. Yay, no encumbrance. I got the sesamite run all the way. We have all the inputs here. I want to make sure I'm getting all the excess sesamite from all of the sesamite lines. All the way back to here. Notice I kept these high because I knew I was going to be doing this. Now, if I'm not using very much sesamite gel, it will preferentially draw it from the first set of smelters. Okay, that's okay. We're drawing it after all of these have had their chance to look at it, so we're going to be building it here. And once again, I only needed 6, I've got 10, so I've got a lot of excess gel coming out available. Boom, and we come through. Now the other risk is I may be overdrawing on my ingredients, so I will have to watch and make sure that I don't run us out of shiverthorn gel or sesamite sand. Likely not. Chances of running out of sesamite sand are, let me calculate, 0. Okay, so with those in place, I can put down, I'm going to put this guy down just like this. I'm going to separate him out just a bit. Now this guy can do 200 a minute. I'm going to do 600 a minute explosives just because I want to have a lot of extra boom. Don't know where I'm going to send it, what I'm going to do with it. For now, it will all go to 12. In fact, I'm going to send this to 3 separate floors. I'm going to send it to, let's see here, 2, 6, and 12. 2 and 6 will use a little bit of it, 12 will use a lot of it. So we've got input, 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 output. I am not going to use filters on this one. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired right now. So we want plant matter frames and sesamite gel and coal. That's the 3 things that are right there. Outputs. Come to here. I'm going to go up one more. This is our output. And having one box service 3 of these is going to be ugly, so we're not going to do it. 5 floors. 2, 6, 12. Start from here. We come out, down, and over here. I'm going to put in a hub right there. Send that 3 ways. Get the other 2 hooked up. So nominally, we're sending out 600 explosives per minute. I think our explosives automation is now on point. Second thing. Oh, now that we got that, let us go back to Victor. That means that this entire explosives thing is obsolete and we need to be bringing in explosives rather than taking them out. I am going to leave you running for now because it's got some consequences. We are going to change this back to 2. We can take input. We need back filter inserters. And I need to merge them in a way that doesn't conflict with that hub. Do it like this. There we go. And you are carrying explosives. I skipped right past him, didn't I? There. So you're still making explosives. Currently, making explosives drains the shiverthorn extract so that we create plant matter so that we make biobrick. We're using biobrick in a number of places. So that's the next thing to look at. We have a better recipe for biobrick. Let's go back to Foundry. I'm going to come out here and we are going to switch over to making biobrick. Now, I am going to just not do that. We have a supply of unrefined diesel. Now, currently, all of this pure diesel, that's all going to floor 14. We have unrefined diesel we're currently using to maintain the drain in 12 and 13. We've got a lot of excess. So what if we routed that unrefined diesel to the floors that are currently using biobrick and weaned them off of the biobrick? Let's do that. So let's head to Victor. So here's our unrefined biobrick. Currently we're feeding 13, 14, and 12. We can stop feeding 14, that's for sure. 14 does not need that kind of fuel. In fact, I believe it's using filters now to only take the fuel it wants, but we're fine now. Biobrick is up 1, 2, and 6. Well, we're on 2. We just need to deliver to 1 and 6. Let's check this. So on 1 we have biobrick, which we're going to send diesel to. 6 we've got biobrick, so 1 and 6 now get it. And we also need to provide our diesel instead of that. So I'm going to take from here, merge it in with that. Now with that done, I can now cease production of biobrick. Well, let's make sure by isolating ourselves, we'll let this run for a bit. We'll make sure that not doing anything downstream that requires biobrick specifically. I think we're good. Oh, iron has stopped moving. Why has iron stopped moving? I have a tier 1 belt in there. That's all right, stop moving. So we are now providing enough bang. Let's upgrade this guy. So he's producing 8 per cycle. Let's see if he keeps his ore side clean, that's good enough. Otherwise, we have to re-engineer some things. Yeah, I think we're good. So 10 per cycle. That sounds more like it. Yeah, we're now stacking it up. So it could very well be that the 2, 4, 6, 8 that I'm getting here per bang, that's 5 times, so that's 40 per minute coming in here. This guy may not be enough. Oh, hold on. What if I make him run more often? There we go. After the bang. Yeah, I was running him 2.5 times a minute on purpose to save explosives. I think we're now catching up. So now this really is doing 10 every, it's doing 50 per minute. So that's just the speed at which we get the iron slabs. Get more iron slabs, we need more. And I think that would be best done at a different node. But apparently we are making use of the iron slabs. That's good. So we are splitting them here. This is sending fuel to 1 and 6. We are not hardly using any mining fuel here. So I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and start tearing this down. What I want to do is repurpose this entire floor to just making science. I'm going to need space. Now, rather than tear it down right here on camera, I will tear it down between episodes, assuming I remember. But I can start by wiping feeder here. I'm going to wipe out my feeds. Oh, we do need to send... Oh, wait a minute. We aren't going to need fuel over there anyway. So we'll end up tearing up that limestone area as well, because it's only used for here. Heck, let's just do this. We're done. This whole area. Toss the machines. Toss the boxes. We still have stockpiles of iron and copper ingots. That's cool. We can keep those. From there out. Okay, I'm going a little wild with this. But you can see where I'm going with it. That actually cleaned up a lot easier than I thought. I figured I was going to have to hunt around. If I put one guy down here, and I make sure there's some guy at the far corner here, we can get our nice rectangular erase it all. Oh, it's not infinite sized. Okay, carefully leaving the floor and erasing everything else. We have this nice wide open space where we used to be making biobrick and explosives, and we've moved those elsewhere. I feel like we've gotten something accomplished. And we have our science area still running. we stalled here? We're stalled here. we're stalled on science. But we have 342 science we could spend, and there's nothing here really that I feel compelled to spend on right now, because our job right now is to continue digging and to continue pumping sand, which means making fuel and making excavator bits. Admit, while I am picking up stuff, all of this can go. All of it can go, because I have big stocks now of everything, and if I need to build something, I can put in a proper production line for it. So let's start with from here. Let's see. I put a box here, a little further. Put a box here, and I'm going to erase as far as I can down this way. Here, I'm going to erase all the way down to here. All this effort, but as I said early on, everything I build is essentially temporary. We're going to build until we have the quantity we need, and then we're going to stop building. I think we have the quantities we need. I am going to maintain the periphery bus out to this layer right here. These can go away. Actually, the bus makes a great top anchor point for filling off stuff. I am very carefully not erasing the flooring, even though it's easy to put the flooring back in if we need to. This guy, start from here, I can go down to there. Now, if I had encumbrance turned on, I would, in the middle of doing this, I'd have to keep opening up new boxes and dropping stuff. So another reason for playing without encumbrance for this playthrough. There, I'm all the way back as far as I can go along this, and let's go to There's something satisfying about this kind of mass destruction of production lines that are no longer needed. Whoops. That touched the floor. There we go. Do all the floors back. Now, really, oh my goodness, all this time, half of this farm was not running. Look at that. And I'm only discovering it when I am decommissioning the farm. My goodness. Well, that tells you how much I was dependent upon the capacity of that farm, huh? And I'm even going to get rid of existing drill bit production. So all we have left on this area is getting the resources from the elevator and putting them on this belt that's wrapping around the outside. And the rest of this floor is empty. Oh, we do have our teleporter over there. And we are actually out of 5x5s. Okay. Any other little parts? I think we're good. So this floor, I will be doing our drill bits on this floor. They'll be coming in the bottom, just like we see there. Cleaned everything out. Let's go make sure that all of our stuff is still running. Now, Lima, you haven't actually used any of your fuel. I need to change you over to using correct fuel, which is unrefined biobrick diesel. Go. Well, actually, we need to do more than that. I'm going to put in 2 of you guys. Well, once I find biobrick diesel here. So we've got 2 sources of unrefined biobrick diesel. I'm going to shift you over to fast belts just to we deliver quickly. Everybody gets fast belts. The other thing I can do is start upgrading things on this so we get a little more. I'm not going to. I'm just going to upgrade my belts and call it a day. All I really wanted to do is deliver the new fuel. So if I wanted to make any of this faster, I would need to run floors out here and get power going, and then I would think, do I want to make these power drills, and what do I want to do with these? And this isn't a major source of ingots, it's just kind of there. So we are now shifted over to using the new fuel. You're delivering to admin, who is currently not using any. Another reason to not upgrade it yet. Victor. Basically anywhere I have biobrick, I'm just going to pick it up. That's going to start. I think for this, I'm just going to pick up everything on the ground floor here. I'm going to need a anchor here somewhere. I'll put it here. And we're left of where I want to pick it up. can I in fact do it all the way out to here? I'm going to want too high. Let's start from here and see if I can pick up all of this. Pretty close. I'm not worried about having resources in my inventory. I will dump them in bulk boxes somewhere at some point in the future sometime, maybe when I get tired of scrolling past it. Well, I believe that has delivered our fuel all the way out here. And same thing off this direction. Until we're not actually using any copper ingots right now. Moving. Again, I want to pick up everything starting at corner. I'm going to call that good. So we are now running entirely on unrefined diesel, where we're using BioBrick before, and our pure diesel is all going to level 14, where it is helping drain the system. Let's go back to level. Check it out. So we're backed up. Still running. Yay, yay. Now, those little X's, or watch for them, we expect to see them here, because we will be producing more sesamite powder than we'll be consuming. If I ever see them on sand, either sesamite sand or normal sand, that's when I want to start worrying. As long as it's only those two. It's not going to be always. We can take down this.
Sand elevation diminished. Local signal deciphered.
Great timing.
Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
Back to Sierra to see where we're going next.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Out of order.
Okay, well, our power is bumping up against full. Our cranks are off. We are self-sustaining. We head back to level 14 and we chase down the next thing we are triangulating. How's our sound level doing? We're down at 63,000 megaliters. We go down through the hole into the lower area, which we haven't explored yet. Actually, remember we had this stairway going down? This is where it comes out. And if I can look around real quick, I saw some things to scan earlier on this stairway. I'm going to see if there's any more of them. I think we got them all. But we will... Whoop. Spoke too soon. But that was HP Glide 6. Ooh, what's this?
Everything in storage here was for drilling and exploration, but the containers are all marked as medical supplies. Weird.
I suspect this is where the mission to Sector Zulu was staged. A great deal of deception and authority was no doubt involved, and only Pacific could have accomplished it.
Okay, there's a panel with Lima on. What?
Preparation for our mission to the alien temple in Sector Zulu was an impressive display of secrecy and logistics. Colonel Paladin was correct in his assertion that the relocation of Production Terminal Lima was essential to our efforts, and he has secured the full cooperation of Sergeant Sparks. Pacific was also successful in quietly disseminating the memory loss compound I developed to everyone but the two of us, and I assured them that the mechanism of action would produce an amnesia that developed both slowly and selectively, built precisely for our purposes. As for the mission itself, well, this is where our troubles began. Upon entering the temple, several of us, myself included, were targeted by beams of light that fired directly from the cubes hovering within it. A separate thunderous shock occurred a moment later, knocking all of us to the ground, including the rebellious crew members who had been forced to accompany us. In the aftermath, our plans for the cubes themselves proceeded. Pacific assured me once again that all of them would be delivered to my laboratory, and that everyone else, especially the dissidents, would be led to believe the cubes were destroyed. The delivery never arrived. Fortunately, I have managed to retain the cube that I was attacked by, and I must admit to a certain fascination with it. In my case, I'm sure it is only the spirit of scientific inquiry, but it is possible that the others who were targeted have also found a way to appropriate their own cubes as a part of some personal obsession. Pacific assures me they will resolve this, recover the additional cubes, and on this subject, I will record a final observation, one that I believe may prove historic. I have analyzed my cube and determined what it is primarily composed of: sesamite. I am more certain than ever that these cubes are the missing link. They will show me how to activate sesamite into the substance that will save the human race. I was right about everything. Everything.
I figured our memory loss had something to do with the cubes. So much for that.
Yes, and my impression is that Mirage also has considerable gaps in her memory. However Pacific inflicted this substance upon us, I suspect they covertly did the same to her as well.
Let's see if we've got some other scannables here. So we got all the fragments. We got all the upgrades. And we got all the crates. We're not at the bottom yet. Now notice that even though only 2 of our drills come down anywhere near this far, our mining rate is still the full 14,000 kiloliters per minute. I think if you don't touch them, they just keep going. I think we are back at a nice stable production configuration. We are drilling. We have cleared out admin in preparation for our push to make more drill bits and tool our science back up when we're ready to do that. We have weaned ourselves off of the older technologies in use at Victor, instead going with sesamite for everything. Now, that does mean that when this level bottoms out, we are going to be reducing our output. if I have all of these guys producing all of their sand out that way, we would be getting just short of 2,400 per minute. So I think we're doing good. I think if I just leave this configuration in place, it's going to ratio everybody down, and we'll get some power and we'll get some sand at a ratio of 40% of the sand will go out. That's probably good. We'll look at the balance when we get there. Power looks good. Sand levels at 61,000 megaliters and dropping. I'm going to call this a recording, and we're going to come back when something interesting happens again. See you then.